Hi everyone, welcome to my channel License to Roam, where I'll be providing content on football tactics and analysis on European football and the beautiful game from across the globe. You can follow me on Twitter/X at Edward Stratman, and if you enjoy the video, would really appreciate a like, subscribe, and any comments as I get started and hope to grow the channel. Right, for this analysis, I'll be focusing on why the sublime Florian Wirtz is so key to Xabi Alonso's undefeated Bayer Leverkusen, as the exceptionally gifted playmaker marked his 100th Bundesliga game in style with an outstanding performance versus Mainz, where his movement especially stood out. Interestingly, at 20 years old, 9 months and 21 days of age, he is the fourth youngest player in history to reach a century of Bundesliga appearances. The match was also notable due to Alonso's remarkable team setting a new Bundesliga record as they extended their unbeaten streak to 33 games in all competitions this season to surpass Hansi Flick's Bayern team of 2020 and 2021. Also, Alonso now has incredibly won 31 of his 49 Bundesliga games as Leverkusen head coach, as per the Bundesliga's official website on that one. All right, on to the analysis. And this is the base formations from each team as the tactically sophisticated Alonso's expertly coached team morph between a back three and a back four in possession in true style within their fluid system that's full of asymmetry, rotations, and interesting staggering to continually ask questions of their opponents. Obviously, Wirtz thrived again from his free attacking midfield berth. And as you can see in the first graphic here, Leverkusen are building up in a 4 here. He smartly drops deep to form the 3v2, and he can be found between the lines, and due to his scanning, he knows that he can turn. Also notice his teammates pinning markers. They don't want to step out to him and leave another marker like Adli or Hoffman free, so Wirtz smartly ducks into the space there to avoid detection, to form that overload, and then ensure Bayer Leverkusen can progress the attack smoothly. Another situation here where he was so good at identifying and recognizing the openings, and obviously his team are so aware of that, all on the same page. He's a real leader and he demands the ball in these situations to form the overload, be the free man. Interesting one in this situation, Frimpong and Hoffman have actually rotated just to cause a little bit of havoc. He knows all these little things like that, and he takes full advantage of any weaknesses. So Wirtz here, just a master at dropping to support the build-up in this situation. Providing the 4v3 gives his team such a great solution to get up the pitch, and obviously he's scanning, he's looking what's going on around him, so he has that constantly updated mental imagery of what's happening around him, teammates, defenders, and the space, so he can just go ahead there and wreak havoc. Another situation where he's just so valuable, that game IQ, the intelligent overloads forming just to be that free man, just to drive those attacks forward and just to be that outlet, as he notices Mainz have pretty much locked up every other option due to the freedom and the positional nous he has, and he knows when defenders are pinned by his teammates, and he smartly identifies that and just darts into the space there to really breathe life into that attack as well. Another situation there, he's just dropped off. Everyone's unsure whether to follow him or not because they don't want to leave another Leverkusen player free. And he darts into that space there to be the free man. And Leverkusen are once again off to the races in this move. Another nice passage where he's smartly free between the lines. He's noticed Hoffman's drawn 2 markers. He gets free, so he can either instantly turn and face, feed Adli, or he can complete the third man combination with Frimpong out wide there. Just another way that his worth was elevated here. Just such a tactically intelligent player and so aware and awake to spaces and his surroundings. Obviously, with the attackers often getting in close proximity, it was really conducive for some fast combination play. And this was a great situation here where Hoffman and Adli all combined nicely. And obviously off to the left, Grimaldo's completely free as he's drawn markers there. Wirtz drawn the wide defender inwards. And interesting, this one, he obviously can receive the ball in a forward-facing posture, immediately add momentum into the attack, and then just use his wizardry on the ball to do whatever. So find space for himself, make space for others, and is always just on hand to connect attacks and to really add that momentum into them. Another situation here where that close combination play is a little bit of an up back through and his darts in behind are also a great feature of his play, where he's just one step ahead of everything, reading the play, got the jump on his markers there, ready to be that man in behind to unlock the defense and generate a quality opening. Another situation here where his runs in behind sort of created some nice openings for his team, where he sort of created that overload. Hoffman can receive between the lines. Adli's pinning the markers, they're facing him, and Wirtz sees that he can just dart in behind down the channel there. And obviously Xhaka on the ball has multiple options, just like Leverkusen do so well, always doing triangles and always creating triangles, great connections to progress the attack, and then obviously that helps them when they lose the ball for counter-pressing situations too. But it is another example of Wirtz and his intelligence to impact the game while supporting his teammates. Obviously, just that reading of the play, how it holds him in good stead in many situations. In this one where Grimaldo's offered the outlet, the wing back / fullback, depending on the shape. Wirtz has shifted across to help him with that nod down, and then he can receive forward facing in a great position to really cause some problems and create some danger. Obviously, that relationship with Grimaldo and Frimpong, the wingbacks, was just such a feature of this game too, as it usually is. In this situation, Wirtz has peeled wide. It's allowed Grimaldo to indent, come in field, and he can receive that ball. He's scanning. He knows he can take his first touch, knowing that Adley's pinning markers, and he's dynamically occupying the space and in a forward-facing posture, so he can immediately get on his bike and put pressure on that back line, retreating and backpedaling. It's another situation with Wirtz and Grimaldo. Super well timed, this passage here. Wirtz peeled wide. Grimaldo immediately knew to duck in field. Wirtz gets on the end of the third man combination, and Grimaldo's in a really great position, undetected by defenders, to receive a ball in behind. Sort of just to create that 2v1 as well, which further compounds issues. And just the way they're so aware of each other's tendencies and the strategy Alonso's imposed is just a joy to watch. Another testament to their relationship was this interchange here where Grimaldo's completely free at the edge of the box. Wirtz has obviously done the interchange and he's a fine option for the blindside run. He's got the jump on his marker there, so the ball holder has so many options, and the Mainz backline is so focused on the ball and just protecting that central area. They've collapsed deep and there's just a host of options for Hoffman there to pick out. Another smart bit of rotation here, where obviously it's a triple layered rotation with Adley peeling wide, Wirtz taking the striking role, and Grimaldo taking Wirtz's attacking midfield role. So just the depth of quality and clarity as they understand Alonso's demands so well to just make life so difficult for opponents to know who to track, to alter reference points. It's just a nightmare. They're never in a pattern or a rhythm to stop Leverkusen, and this is a fine example of how well they execute their manager's plan. It obviously wasn't just Grimaldo that Wirtz dovetailed with, it was also Frimpong, and here's their nice interchange. And then obviously Frimpong's a nice outlet in the box. Wirtz can receive in wider areas, less populated, where he can have that little bit of extra time and space to do what he does best on the dribble and with his creative passing. Another situation here, he just peels wide in that half space, gives Tar a free passing option. The defenders don't want to leave Frimpong due to his pacing behind, so Wirtz is in acres of space there to decide what he wants to do with it. So yeah, Wirtz just continually just found space, exploited weaknesses, and was just a really key driving force for Leverkusen in this one. Another situation here where he's just rotated nicely when Adley's dropped deep, and he's filled that central forward space to provide depth to the attack and make a smart run in behind. Just another string to his bow. Obviously impacts games either side of the back line and wide centrally in the half spaces. Just a super smart player. Obviously there's his heat map showing he did a little bit of everything, showing that he popped up everywhere. And obviously that area was where he did most of his damage, sort of between the lines and working in tandem with Grimaldo especially. But obviously he wasn't restricted solely to that. It was just such a multifaceted game, and his positioning and awareness and movement really came to the fore. And there's his average positioning there, nice and high. Always ready to impact attacks and give his team an outlet, and obviously to combine with others just to make them such a force to be reckoned with as they have been throughout the season and in this game, even though it wasn't their best performance of the year where they sort of rode their luck on occasion. But Wirtz was just so impressive again as usual. And there's just a connections map showing that he had that great connection with Grimaldo, especially where they really linked up really nicely. And obviously Hoffman as well, and Frimpong and Adley to an extent too, and Xhaka too. They were just really nicely operated, well spaced, well staggered, and just great positioning to get the best out of each other in a lot of occasions, especially going forward in this one. Obviously, that's the end of the analysis. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Would really appreciate it. Thank you again for taking the time to watch the video, and have a great day. Stay tuned for the next analysis.